Doomfist's gauntlet! Oh man, they said he could level a skyscraper.
That was the moment that we first heard the name Doomfist, a throwaway line and weapon seemingly created purely to give the heroes of the cinematic trailer something to fight over. But since then, Doomfist's story has grown and he's likely to be one of Overwatch's upcoming playable heroes. And we've pieced together every bit of information about this mysterious character, so let me answer the question: who is Doomfist? The biggest source of information regarding Doomfist comes from this poster on Numbani. 3 different characters are depicted. The first labelled as the Saviour, the second as the Scourge, and the last as the Successor. Under their titles there is another line of text, and these are likely the names of the characters. The first is Swahili and literally translates to Doomfist. Being the original user of this title, this makes sense. The second name is likely Nigerian in origin, and while it has no simple translation, the first name means something along the lines of "the strong one has returned," and the second name is something like "the crown fits me." Now, these meanings certainly don't seem like a coincidence. They clearly imply that Doomfist is a title rather than a name, something that is inherited, kind of like the Green Lantern. The wielder of the gauntlet takes up the moniker of Doomfist, and so far there have been at least 2 people to go by this name. The final character is in silhouette, with very few discernible features. However, under the title The Successor, his name is written in the Omnic language, implying that unlike his predecessors, the latest Doomfist is unlikely to be human. Translating the Omnic language hasn't been easy, and a lot of people have been working hard to do it, but some now speculate this line of text implies that the latest Doomfist is both Omnic and human. Let's take a step back and take another look at the Saviour. He's clearly depicted as a hero and possibly a military man from his clothing. Being titled as the Saviour is also very telling. The poster is located in Numbani, a city here humans and Omnics both live in peace. The city also holds an event called Unity Day, likely to celebrate the establishment of peace between humans and Omnics in the city, and it's this day that a Doomfist exhibit at the museum is set to open. Perhaps this implies that the Saviour is linked to the Unity Day and bringing peace to humans and Omnics alike in the area. I would also like to note the appearance of his gauntlet and compare it to this, the gauntlet used by the second Doomfist, the Scourge. They are clearly different. Perhaps the original weapon was improved by the second Doomfist, or perhaps they are entirely different devices, again like Green Lantern rings. Now, from Scourge's poster, we can see he's clearly a bad guy, whereas the Saviour had a rising sun behind him, and the Scourge has what looks like a mushroom cloud and a sour expression on his face. We can also note from the cinematic trailer where this all started that Winston defeated a Doomfist.
And remember, he was all fighting and Winston beat him and was like, Primal Punch!
It wouldn't make sense for him to beat the Saviour, so we can assume the Scourge was defeated by everyone's favourite scientist.
Enjoying the exhibit?
The gauntlet from the trailer also looks much more like this gauntlet than the one that belonged to the Saviour. We can see this weapon again as the payload for the Numbani map that you're escorting to the museum, and it is confirmed by this voice line that it was the weapon wielded by the Scourge.
The Numbani Heritage Museum will be the proud home of the Doomfist itself. Once wielded by the infamous Scourge of Numbani, it will be the centerpiece of an expansion of the exhibit focusing on the men who bore the name Doomfist.
So we can assume Winston defeated him, took his gauntlet, which later went on display at the museum where Reaper and Widowmaker attempted to steal it. Now it's being transferred to the Numbani Museum. We also don't know if the Scourge died or was simply imprisoned, and if he was locked up, we don't know if he's still behind bars or not. Now, we move into the final part of the poster, and again, the gauntlet has grown now, taking up the whole arm and shoulder of the character. The background this time is a fist raised in a way that's commonly used as a symbol of rebellion. The light rays coming from it and color palette also imply that this Doomfist could be more of a savior than Scourge, but we can't know for sure. That's all we can pull out of this poster, but it's not all the information we do have. During the World of Overwatch discussion at BlizzCon, this was said.
Also, they are threatened by the villainous hero Doomfist.
Bill,
Yeah.
I hear he could level a skyscraper.
And then we got this image in another teaser from Overwatch, which shows an explosion in Numbani's skyscraper. So we know for sure there is a Doomfist causing trouble in Numbani, and many have assumed that this is the latest one, but I have another theory. Could it be the Scourge is back in action, trying to reclaim his fist with the help of Widowmaker and Reaper? Maybe the new Doomfist is actually trying to stop the Scourge. If he's half human and half Omnic, surely peace is what he desires. So those are the facts and a little speculation, but what I really want to know is, what do you think? Which Doomfist is terrorizing Numbani? Will the successor be a playable character? And what skills do you think you'll have? Let me know in the comments below. As always, this is Dash for Kerr saying thanks for watching and enjoy the game.